Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agumofwebe. We would like to remind you that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365. Vice President Kashif Shettima has pleaded with Nigerians to shun the planned nationwide protest scheduled to begin on August 1, 2024, stating that it is time for unity and focused development in the country. Speaking at a wedding ceremony in Maiduguri, Borno State capital, the Vice President noted that protest has never been a solution for nations to solve their challenges, but rather an avenue for destruction of human lives and properties, calling for peace and unity. The Northwest Caucus in the House of Representatives has commended President Bola Tinubu for signing the Northwest Development Commission bill into law. They made the commendation at a press conference held at the National Assembly. Leader of the caucus, Sada Jibia, noted that by assenting to the bill, the president has demonstrated good leadership and proven to be a man of his words. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says he has yet to receive an application for the use of Eagle Square, Abuja, as a protest ground. Wike spoke at a town hall meeting in the FCT where he discussed and dissuaded residents from participating in the nationwide protest built for August 1 to 10. The demonstration, dubbed 10 Days of Rage, is to protest the economic hardship. Stakeholders, including the presidency, federal and state governments, traditional and religious leaders, have appealed to citizens to shelve the protests. In the meantime, the All Progressives Congress APC has urged organizers of the planned August 1 nationwide protest to shelve its agitation to have President Bola Tinubu scrap the 1999 Constitution. The ruling party disclosed these after a closed-door meeting with the Forum of APC State Chairman to discuss the modalities of the proposed protests at the National Secretariat in Abuja. Samuel Odi has details.
The protest, scheduled to hold from August 1st to 15th, has generated tension and mixed reactions among Nigerians in the past 2 weeks. The ruling party, through its National Secretary, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, insists that for the renewed agitation to have the president dump the constitution which he vowed to protect will amount to a mission impossible course. The president alone does not have the power to dump the 1999 constitution. Bashiru's statement was a response to one of the 15 demands of the organizers of the proposed hunger strike protests.
First, they said scrap with the Nigerian constitution and replace it with the people-made constitution for the Federal Republic of Nigeria through a sovereign national conference followed by a national referendum.
In the last 2 decades, the need to change the Nigerian constitution has become a hot debate among several state actors and elder statesmen. The ruling party therefore appealed to Nigerians and the organizers of the scheduled protest for August 1st to 15th to give Mr. President time to work on revamping the economy. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you, Samuel, for that reporting there. The Jamaatul Nasrul Islam, JNI, and other stakeholders in the North have urged government representatives, civil society organizations, and citizens to engage in open and inclusive dialogue to address the underlying issues and concerns that may drive protests. The Coalition of Civil Society Organizations, Kaduna State, also announced its withdrawal from the planned nationwide protest, but urged President Bola Tinubu that it should organize another protest in due course if the government fails to address the plight of Nigerians. At least 3 persons have been confirmed dead in a building collapse in Jigawa State. The Police Public Relations Officer in the state, DSP Lawan Adam, in a statement, confirmed the fatalities, noting that 4 persons sustained injuries. On a side note, veteran broadcast journalist Lawal Yusufu Solawa has died at the age of 80 years. He died at his residence in Badiko, Kaduna South local government area of the state. His funeral prayer was held at Danfodio Jumat Mosque in the afternoon with hundreds of friends and former colleagues from the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, and Nigeria Radio in attendance. The Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, has distributed prosthetic limbs, crutches, and wheelchairs to 180 people with disabilities in Borno State. Speaking at the distribution ceremony in Maiduguri, The Commission's Managing Director, Mohammed Alkali, says the initiative was part of efforts to promote inclusivity and empowerment for people living with disabilities. The Commission also gave 50,000 naira each to 350 beneficiaries for feeding and transportation back to their respective homes. The federal government has resumed work on dualization of uncompleted sections of the 375.9-kilometer Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano Highway. Minister of Works David Umahi stated this during the flag-off of the completion works and handover of the 38-kilometer dual carriageway section of the road to Dangote Group. Umahi, in a statement by Special Advisor on Media, Orji Uchenna Orji, charged the three companies handling the three sections to show absolute devotion to the completion of the project. Abuja's original inhabitants under the aegis of the Abuja Aborigines Network have thrown their weight behind the calls to halt the planned protests slated for August the 1st. President of the 6,000-member-strong network, Dr. Donald Amagbo, sought dialogue instead of protest while speaking after an anti-protest town hall meeting called by Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, in Abuja. Amagbo, who expressed total condemnation of the planned protests on behalf of thousands of his network members, stated that they were ready to resist the protest because it was calculated to cause anarchy and make Nigeria ungovernable. Armed terrorists suspected to be members of Boko Haram have invaded Jakana police station in Kunduga local government area of Borno State, killing a police driver and a woman friend. The terrorists also set ablaze two patrol vehicles belonging to the police and members of civilian joint task force, as well as a motorcycle, as some arms and ammunition were carted away by the rampaging insurgents. The terrorists were said to have stormed the police station at about 1 a.m., where they engaged the security agencies for about 3 hours, overwhelmed them, and fled at about 3 a.m. Socio-Economic Crisis and Accountability Project SERAP has filed a lawsuit against the Central Bank of Nigeria over an alleged failure to account for and explain the whereabouts of over 100 billion dirty and bad notes and other large sum of cash awaiting examination, which, according to SERAP, are kept in the various branches of the CBN. In the lawsuit filed last week at the Federal High Court, Lagos, SERAP says it is asking the court to direct and compel CBN to explain the whereabouts of the monies in question kept in various branches of the bank. A daughter of President Bola Tinubu and Iyaloja General of Lagos, Folashade Tinubu Ojo, has urged market women in Dosumu Market in Lagos State to advise their children and wards against participating in the planned August 1 hunger protest. Tinubu Ojo spoke with market women in Yoruba, urging them to warn their children about the dangers of protesting, citing the destruction caused by previous protests, including the EndSARS demonstration. She emphasized that Lagos state government has made significant progress and deserves support. Tinubu Ojo also noted that the federal government, headed by her father, should be given time to prove itself before being criticized. You're watching News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles as you now see on your screen. When News Cycle returns, United Nations Secretary General calls for urgent action on climate change in the bid to curb extreme heat. We'll tell you more about that and bring you other stories after this short break. Please stay with us. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of the News Cycle with Thuye Agmofewe. We appreciate you for your time with us. Now let's turn to business. The federal government says it has mobilized $2.2 billion in external finance for the Nigeria Health Sector Renewal Investment Initiative. This came as President Bola Tinubu approved the establishment of the sector-wide Coordinating Office Program Management Unit, domiciled in the office of the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare. In a statement signed by Tinubu's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, the movement says the idea is to ensure efficient, transparent, and accountable management of external grants mobilized towards the implementation of the Nigeria Health Sector Renewal Investments Initiative. The Central Bank of Nigeria says it has disbursed $148 million to 29 authorized dealers as part of steps to stabilize the foreign exchange market amidst the recent free fall of the naira. A statement posted on the Apex Bank website revealed that the sales were made to the dealers on Monday, July 22nd and Tuesday, July 23, 2024, between an exchange rate of 1,470 naira and 1,510 naira to the US dollar. The CBN also noted that the authorized dealers include banks and bureau de change operators. A new report by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, says that power distribution companies in the country made 291.62 billion naira in revenue in the first quarter of 2024. This is coming as the power sector regulator has barred the Nigerian bulk electricity trading from entering into new contracts. On the foreign scene, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for urgent and concerted efforts aimed at dealing with extreme heat and climate change. The Secretary General's call to action on extreme heat brings together the diverse expertise and perspectives of 10 specialized UN entities in a first-of-its-kind joint product, underscoring the multi-sectoral impacts of external heat.
It's summertime, but the living is no longer easy. This has been a week of unprecedented heat. First, the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service declared Sunday, July 21st as the hottest day on record.
Guterres stated that the impact of heat wave has taken a tremendous toll on most parts of the world, including Africa.
Scorching conditions have killed 1,300 pilgrims during Hajj, shut down tourist attractions in Europe's sweetbox cities, and closed schools across Asia and Africa, impacting more than 80 million children. Of course, summer heat is as old as the hills, but the World Meteorological Organization, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, and others have documented a rapid rise in the scale, intensity, frequency, and duration of extreme heat events.
The call for action, according to the UN chief, is an effort to enhance international cooperation to address extreme heats in 4 critical areas, including caring for the vulnerable, protecting workers, boosting resilience of economies and societies using data and science, as well as limiting temperatures rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius by phasing out fossil fuels and scaling up investments in renewable energy. Japanese and U.S. defense chiefs and top diplomats have held talks in Tokyo and further bolstering their military cooperation, including by upgrading the command and control of U.S. forces and strengthening American licensed missile production in Japan amid a rising threat from China. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin joined their Japanese counterparts Yoko Kamikawa and Minoru Kihara at the Japan-U.S. Security Consultative Committee, known as 2+2 security talks, to reaffirm their alliance following President Joe Biden's withdrawal from the November presidential race. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for an urgent need to deal with extreme heat and climate resilience. But let's bring you a different story now. The people of Venezuela are voting in a presidential election whose outcome will lead to seismic shifts in politics or extend by 6 more years the policies that caused the world's worst peacetime economic collapse. Polls at 6 a.m. Showed that the number of eligible voters is estimated to be around 17 million. Sunday's ballot also features 8 other candidates challenging Maduro, but only Gonzalez threatens Maduro's rule. And in sports, players in the men's table tennis events, the ongoing Olympic Games, lost their matches in the first round of the competition. Quadri Arena lost 3-4 in his round of 64 match at the South Paris Arena to Eduardo Isconiu of Romania. Arena's hopes of repeating his Rio 2016 quarterfinals performance went up in smoke when the 20-year-old Isconiu made it a thrilling Olympic debut for himself. Lorenzo Colombo has scored 2 first-half goals, and Marco Nasti netted the game winner to give AC Milan a 3-2 victory over English Premier League champion Manchester City at New York. Nestle lifted Milan ahead to stay in the 78th minute. The 20-year-old Italian striker taking a centering pass from Belgian right wing Alexis Sekmakers and firing an inside right foot blast into the goal. Gabriel Martinelli has called for Arsenal in the 81st minute to give the Gunners a 2-1 victory over Manchester United in a friendly at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles.